Welcome, everybody. Hello, hello. Hopefully, you're all doing extremely well today. And there's a few little topics I want to touch on. One is I'm going to be teaching an angel alchemy class that's coming up. It's on a weekend on the 28th, 29th, and 30th. So it's not this weekend, it's the following weekend. We're going to be doing the angel alchemy. So if you're interested in that class, um, let me know. The other one I want to talk about is the tarot class. And I'm getting pulled to teach that one in March. So the tarot class, so that's, and I have it right now at $99. So if you're interested in doing the tarot. Now, I've been teaching tarot for a very long time. I've been using tarot for oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'll just put it down to 20 plus years in using the tarot. When I first discovered the tarot, it did intimidate me. But I was drawn to it. I was really wanting to learn it and understand it. Kind of like the astrology. I was drawn to astrology, but I avoided it like crazy. I avoided the tarot. Why? And astrology. Why? Well, it's complex. And it wasn't just, oh yes, I can get the oracle cards and the meanings are just there, right? Or the information is just there. The tarot takes you on a deep journey. It takes you on a journey to the soul. It takes in it and it uncovers parts of you in your real life that need to be looked at, need to be, revealed in some way. And at certain times in your life, sometimes you're very raw and you're just like, I don't want to know that shit. Like, it's okay. Like, I know that, but I don't want to know that. But what I also found is the tarot brought in great healing. Now, when I teach very basic. I teach the basics of tarot. I teach it from the Reader Writer deck, which is is the basis of tarot. And in teaching it, it's bringing in the fundamentals of what it is. I don't add the astrology into it. I don't bring in Kabbalah. I don't bring in, a lot of other elements that are in it because I don't want to make it confusing for people. But what I want to bring in when I teach it is bringing in the fundamentals, bringing in this is what the Fool is trying to tell us. This is what the it's like to how is this going to help you and how is this going to help your tarot? That's what I do when I teach. And that's with a lot of things that I teach. I want to bring in where how can you use this? How can you gather this information and use it on a day-to-day basis? Now, when I started this year, I'm all over the place today. So just bear with the thoughts. They're just coming in, but they do kind of tie up at the end. It's like all of these strings that are coming in and I'm braiding them and they do intertwine with one another. So when I started this year, it was like I was going to do a live once a week. That was it, going to do a live. And then something would come up and I'm like, oh, okay, I got, my guys would say, you got to get on there, you got to tell them. And then something else. I'm just like, okay, so it was like, all right, I could do my daily tarot or videos and stuff like that, put them up. I love doing that. I could do that very easily. I found a very good app that I'm utilizing at this time. More to learn on that app. Just got the basics done. But this is where this is going back to the tarot. That's it. It's like you get the basics and then you can add and learn so many other things. Now, going back to my videotaping where I was, wanted to do once a week, it was like, no, your message, what you are being called to, whether it's for one person or 100 people or 1,000 people, how many people that you reach, you need to come out with a message each day and bring that message in. And that's part of my draw, part of what I do. And when going back to learning tarot and learning astrology, when I started to tap into it, is that it showed me things. It showed me stuff that I didn't want to really look at. And that's what people like, they want to know. They want to know the information, but they don't want to know. It's like, I want to know the connection. I want to understand this, but I really don't want to know. And that's the same way with tarot. It's like a lot of times people are like, I want to know, but I really don't want to know, because it's like, this is this is opening my soul. It is opening my core to a whole truth that I know is there, but I'm afraid to open up to it. And so when I teach tarot, I try to bring it in very gently and loving. That's why I also bring in, the angel alchemy and teach angel classes. My fairy shamanism class is very coming in and showing your shadow and working with the shadow. Same with Journey Club. So I teach, karmic release and many others that I teach. Um, and it's bringing in a basis. It's wanting to bring in the basics and understanding this is what we need to do in order for us to walk through the valley of darkness, for us to walk through the days that are glorious and illuminating. This is what, when we dive into things like astrology or the tarot or the angels, it's letting you know that this is a guide. It doesn't matter where you are upon that journey, whether you're going through massive psychosis. I mean, we're all going through massive psychosis, by the way. The whole world is going through massive psychosis. Dr. Malone was talking about that, and so has a few others have talked about it. But this is to have us to show and show us how to connect with those parts of ourselves, so that we are able to integrate it and continue the higher frequencies, to continue this road that, even though life, is crazy. Now, the astrology shows me, and is like, there is one story being told, but there's a whole nother over here. When I do the tarot and read the tarot with the it's like, okay, yeah, you can look over here, but there's a whole other story that they don't want you to see. They don't want you to see the connections of the craziness that is over here, that is part of the truth. Like, it's like when you look at all of the um sort of billionaires, or the people of, the politicians, they're all connected. They're all connected. They all know each other. They've all been at family functions and all kinds of crazy stuff. Trump was at Hillary's wedding, and Epstein was at Bill Clinton's daughter's wedding. It's there's a connection, right? And it's like, oh, okay. There's a connection. Now, in understanding that connection, it's understanding how to work it. Doesn't mean you have to believe it, go into their bullshit kind of way. But it's like, I know how to play this game, but I'm going to play it with a frequency that is of love and light. It's not that I'm going to deny what's going on. I know it, I understand it, but I'm going to come in with this with a understanding of my highest self. That's the number one thing. And especially since we've seen, when Jupiter was last, in Sagittarius, and Jupiter met up with Pluto in Sagittarius, it was like, here, free. So from 2007 to 2019 was the most open of times we had. We were able to do things, go places. Here it is. Jupiter's like, yeah, we're gonna make things happen. This is so cool. It's like that. Yeah, I'm gonna create. Now Jupiter met with Pluto 3 times in 2020. It started to show us the restrictions. And it's a 13-year cycle. Like, Jupiter's not going to meet up with Pluto for another 13 years. And we're not going to have Pluto in Capricorn for another 247 years. So we have this energy that is bringing up and digging up truths and realities. What the astrology does and what the tarot does is helps to guide us through all the muck and the muss. Even when craziness shows up, like either it's the death card or it's the 5 of Pentacles upright or it's the Tower card or something shows up to you and says, look it, things are dismantling. It's when you have that Saturn return or something crazy is happening in your chart to have you look at and realize this is what's going on. It's like with the square, with Mercury squaring Uranus, it's saying, hey, there's some crazy Frankenstein kind of energy going on, but it might have a little bit of mishaps. There might be some huge explosions going on. This is what, and this is where the frequency is coming in and saying, okay, we got to slow down. Yeah, we know things are unrolling, things are coming in. That's why, when I did a reading, you've been doing a few readings lately, a lot of the death card and the Tower is coming in. Why? Because it's letting you know that life is changing. The Temperance coming in. The Temperance is letting you know there's a new balance that you have to look at within your own lives, and we have to restructure it in a new way. But in restructuring it, we want to come in with a frequency that is different than the frequency of before. Even when with Jupiter and Pluto saying, yeah, but there's going to be some great restrictions being put upon people. There's going to be, when you look at, this rules and information. So there's more rules being inundated. I mean, and this is going to continue on for 13 years. But what that does with Uranus saying to you, yeah, but we're for the people. We're going to uprise over those rules, because what are the rules and regulations do you want? Because we all have them within our lives, and it comes in with our values and our beliefs. So what is that new structure that you are wanting to create within your life? What does that feel like? What does that look like? And that's part of, part of this energy that's coming in, because you want the information, but you don't want to be shutting down. You don't want to get paralyzed. And this is going to be where the outside world, the crazy movie screens that are coming in, that are wanting to come in and show you this is what the rules and regulations are. The world is going to be here. But there's another that's coming in. And that's why with that, with Saturn squaring Uranus, and there, for the next, since it's being in Aquarius, and Aquarius is frequencies, what are the frequencies that you are wanting to have and change? And looking at those frequencies, so we get the guidance of looking at your natal chart and saying, okay, all right, there are some shiftings that are coming in. Like, for myself in my own natal chart, there's a Saturn return that's happening. We also have, the sun is going to be hitting, my
Steve, my hubby.
My energy. Oh, look at this. This is when I'm live. My husband calls. So I go like this and I go, hello, Steve. I am live on TV.
Oh, sorry. No, I just was going to tell you, the boy is here today, so would I be able to buy him lunch?
Yes. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. So that was my husband. This is why I do this live. You never know what's going to happen. My husband doesn't know how to use text. Just an FYI. So I have, either my grandson comes in or what have you. I just go with it. So going back to my chart, I got a Saturn return. I got Mercury hit my Saturn. And what else was going? The sun's going to come up and hit it. It's going to square my sun, going to square my Mercury. My Mercury's in Scorpio. So it's going to square it, right? So I know it. What am I going to do about it? How do I work with that frequency? I can go ape shit crazy, because it is like, it's fucked up. Like it can get really crazy. Sorry. But this is where it's like, all right, how am I going to deal with it? I'm going to ground. I'm going to make sure I do my meditations every day. I'm going to bring in what I need in order to function each day. I'm going to do my tarot. My tarot is my guide. I'm going to look at the astrology and look at it not only for the collective, but look at it, what is that? How does that feel for me? So I work with it. I don't try and fight it. I don't try and beat it up. But when obstacles come in, it's like, okay, how am I going to work with this, and how can I bring in my grounding? Grounding is so important. Bringing in that grounding energy in order for all of us to work through the frequencies that are coming in very strongly. Today's a very high frequency day. So there's a lot of energies that are coming in. There is a grand or a golden yod that meets with the moon going into Virgo, and their Neptune is sextiling with the sun and Juno there. So there's all about illumination, all about, or Chiron, I should say, not Neptune, but with Chiron, all about this illumination of what it is that we deeply need to be healed internally, because it comes in and it's pointing at the moon in Virgo, which has to do with our routine, how things are done within our daily routine, and how we set things in motion, and health. So a lot of things coming in about health today. So if there is something going on and you need to go see a doctor today, yeah, today would be like, oh, I think I'm going to call up and see. Yeah, this has been bothering me lately. And also Virgo rules animals. So it's a house of animals. So if there's things going on around along with your animals, get it checked out, you know? Um, Mine's just going batshit crazy. She's been jumping at walls and all kinds of things. I saged, so that's probably why more other things are coming out and playing. So we have this energy. We have these tools that are being given to us, and it's up to us to begin to utilize them. And some of the tools for you, maybe you aren't drawn to tarot, maybe you're not drawn to the oracles, but if you're listening to me, chances are you're drawn to something that is spiritual, something that is like crystals or herbs, or you're drawn to, some kind of maybe ritual things in your life, or you're drawn to really working with the land and talking to trees. There's something there that you, I mean, obviously, because you're listening to me, so um and a lot of people think I'm batshit crazy with things that are coming in. So this is looking in at the energies that are coming in. Now, a few things that I have been with my predictions and things that I say to people is, not only do I trust my intuition with it, but I double check it with the astrology, and then pull out my tarots. I pull out a few things, and that's when you see something really big coming on the screen, or real big news that is happening, take a moment and digest it. What I mean is, like, take a moment and like, ooh, what does that mean? And then you'll hear, and then you'll find out sort of the illusional backstory to what they are letting you know, the reasons of why they're doing something, i.e., let's go to Europe, let's go to the England, and all the mandates being released, that they're no longer having to wear masks, and there's no more restrictions, goes down. So it's a big thing. And then this is the reason why they're doing it. So the reasons will come in. But this is where, for quite some time, it's showing you that let's begin to digest this. And how does that actually make you feel? It's great and wonderful. I'm glad that this is happening, and I want it to happen more. But you also have to look at, there's another agenda, there's another story that's going on. and understanding what that agenda is and those other stories that are going on as well. And when you do that, you're like, oh, okay. So there's more to what is happening than meets the eye. And that's coming in and trusting yourself and saying, okay, I see what's going on. I see that there's some craziness that is unfolding with all of this and the behind the scenes reasonings, because I can go back to other things that my government has been saying and the United States government has been saying, things about the draft. Now, you might not even notice because it's on page 7 or it gets passed, right? But these are the little things that are sort of trickling in to get us to, what is going on? What is going on? So we know that there is something crazy because regulations are coming in and more is being tightened. So as more is being tightened, this is about us knowing the right people, people who know how the world works or know how certain things work. This is how you find your community. Because it's like, oh, all right. So what is my frequency of where it is that I want to step towards? If that is making any sense to you guys. And in it comes in learning things. So some of the things that are going to be coming up that I'm going to be teaching is the angel alchemy, which really helps to create a wonderful vibration of working with the archangels and creating a medicine wheel so that you are able to cleanse, clear, bring in this vibration and frequency and anchor the archangels and the divine mother to Gaia. We also have the tarot class that is going to be coming up and the karmic release. So those are the 3 kind of major classes that I'm going to be having up over between now and March. And those are going to be some of the big classes I'm going to be teaching. Karmic release is taught on the weekend. Angel alchemy is taught on the weekend. Tarot class is going to be a weekly class. About 5 weeks, about 5 classes in that, maybe 6, depending. So we have these classes that are coming forth to help you to anchor into your energies as things and regulations seem to be released. Remember that. Yet they might be pulling in some other crazy things behind the doors, but you are becoming ready for it because your frequency is higher, if this makes sense to you. And it might sound crazy, it might sound a little bit left field, but I find that a lot of the energy that was coming in this morning before I started anything was with the divine mother, the energetic energy coming in, this energetic repair and carrying the frequencies of light in order for us to receive and heal the great traumas in the 3D existence. So there's these frequencies that are coming in and having us and freeing us of the levels of trauma that we've been going through that are in a loop. So these frequencies are coming in. Now, in utilizing and working with these frequencies, we are given many different tools in our toolkit to help us to deal with the energies of change. And one of them is a very easy tool, and that's salt water. Whether you bathe in the salt water, whether you go by the ocean and put your feet in the salt water is coming in and bringing us that holding of the divine mother within the fluid of the matrix. So coming in and cleansing and clearing this energetic field. And like the mother's womb, this energetic of the mother is the balance and repair and the transmute and transformation. It's bringing us back into the wholeness so that we are able to come out and into these vibrations and this light energy, that when restrictions and all of this is being felt like it's oppressing us, we are still standing out and moving forward. And this is where the chain reactions in the collection of the energetic field, this is an interweb of energetic fields. So there is these layers of frequencies in the inner and outer and into our core center, our soul, and our outer aoric field is becoming that it is connecting more and more to the earth frequencies. See, Gaia, the earth is going to do what the earth is going to do. It can cleanse, it can clear, it can transmute, and it can do what it's going to do. We humans just try and mess it up. Like we just do crazy things. Like yesterday was a big, was it yesterday? 5G rollout with like Horizon and a lot of other cell phone companies rolling out this huge 5G energy, where there are others that are sort of like, why don't we don't have to do this all at once. But then again, over 300 plus airlines were actually, and this is news, this is out there, were grounded because of it. Because it's like where the divine is saying, okay, you want to manipulate this, I'm going to get you to look at it in new ways. Our bodies are going to restructure with this, with all of it, and it's going to be a little bit crazy, and our body will restructure with all of it, but it is going to be one that is going to bring in some craziness for us. So it is very important for us to, as individuals.
We got a mail.
We got a mail? Is somebody at the front door?
Yeah, I looked out the window and it was a mailman.
Was a mailman? Come here, you got something in your eye, like really. Sorry, guys.
What?
You got an eyelash in your eye. Like, sorry, he's got an eyelash in his eye.
How did that happen?
Doesn't it feel like you got something in your eye?
No.
I can see it.
Can't see anything.
I can't see anything. Anyways, all right, you can check to see what the mail is. So he's going to check.
I got the eyelash out.
You got the eyelash out? Right on. See, my shows, you never know what's going to happen. So this is like, you got to go with the flow. So this is coming in, and I don't want to spend too much time with, on it today. I'm still downloading a lot of these the frequencies that are coming in with the Divine Mother and coming in with the integration, but I know some of it, and I talked about it on my meditation group this morning, where it's physical geometric patterns are coming in too, like the tetrahedron and the isosceles triangle. And this energetic pattern of frequency is really coming in and activating. Thank you. Activating our root chakra. So getting us to ground through this. Okay, my guides are saying, okay, you gotta come to a point here, Mary, because I got the frequencies coming in. I feel like the energies, I feel my heart chakra really being activated in this. This is where they're come in and ground and then visualize the tetrahedra at the base of your spine, dropping down into the earth, activating that energy, grounding us so that we are able to come into that healing energy and break through the loops so that we are able to move forward. And in that, having us come through with this grounding. Anyways, I feel like there's just a lot coming in, and I just really want you guys to make sure that you are grounded, utilize the tools that you do have through this all, utilize the tools of your tarot and any of the other, if you have your natal chart, take a look at your natal chart with the transits right now, and that'll help you to work through if there's anything feeling a little bit off-centered in your life at this time, and then you can come back into the groundedness. High frequencies today, I could feel them because they just took me all over the place, but I have to come back to the grounding. I think that's why they sent in Mateus is like, oh, got to ground, got to refocus, got to regroup. So having that grounding and regrouping is a positive thing. So my loves, just coming in and having you guys to really center. If you're interested in the tarot class, let me know. I have it down to $100 right now. And if you're interested in doing the Angel Alchemy class, just send me a note and we'll look into it and we'll just get you registered. That one is a little bit it is pricey. It's $444. So if you're interested in that one, there is a payment plan with that. Also, I do payment plans with them all. So just let me know if you're interested. And yeah, sorry to be so scattered. It just sort of, some of the energies just sort of hit me, and where I had like, this is what I'm going to be talking about, and this is where they took me. And I don't want to go down a crazy rabbit hole right now with some of this energy. It's where I know there's dramatic change coming through, and we have to stay grounded through it all. Sending you out so much love. Have a fabulous day, everybody. And I'm going to try and see if I can come on later on today, and maybe my head will not be, it's like I was clear. I had everything together. Anyways, and be so crazy. So have a great one, everybody. Blessed be. And I'll talk to you soon.